Welcome into the Sports Game Podcast with Paul Catalina here on the brand new 365 Sports Extras. This segment is called The Rage Room, and we are bringing in our old friend from Fox 9 Minneapolis, Pierre Noujaim, who I've known for a very long time. Before we get to what the Rage Room is and what Pierre will be doing in this particular segment, I do need to congratulate Pierre. He is a father-to-be. And you just got married like less than a year ago, correct?
Yeah, less than a year ago.
Less than a year ago. So, and look, this is a good plan because you're in your 40s now, Pierre. So, like,
right.
You don't want to be too old of a dad. Like right now, I'm 46. If I have one, like high school graduation, if we had one 9 months from now, I'm 65 years old.
You're having a retirement party and a high school graduation party at the same time.
Yeah, my best hope for that is like your dad is old and cool. That would be my hope. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, you know, I would have to be the dad that like gave out beers.
Oh, have to be. I fully expect that of you as well.
Yeah. So like that's the only thing. And be like, listen, kids, and like you can have a Bud Light Lime. I don't drink them anyway. Yeah, that's what I would do. This segment brought to you by Airwave. Go to 365sportsdeals.com, click on the Airwave logo, and find out about all the great things they do over at Airwave. Breathe easier at Airwave. Okay. Pierre, you and I have known each other for a long time. I think the thing that made us such good friends is we both have a capacity to rage.
Yes.
And hit a level on things. And so I will do this with other people. This is mainly going to be kind of a Pierre thing because we used to do, you were on my show, The Triple Option, that then Urban Meyer, let's just say he murdered it. He helped murder it by, and look, I'm not blaming Mark Ingram or Rob Stone as much as I am Urban Meyer because, I mean, let's face it, he should be a convicted felon.
Wow. The law is out of my hands at this point, Paul, as you know. So,
but anyway, they had the same name. It was killing our search algorithm. We were down to one producer here in the studio at the time. So we're in a new room, Pierre. I don't know if you noticed the different back. We're in the same
sign. Love the
building.
brick.
Yeah. Maybe next time we do this, I'll be sitting just to the left, and you can see the new logos, of which I am just now getting loaded onto the flash drive. So all these things. But look, here, the YouTube channel is at 50 subscribers as we're doing this interview, but we want to be at 50,000 by the end of the interview. So I think you can help do that. So
I'm going to do my best.
So what the Rage Room is Pierre has sent me a thing that he's mad about, and I will ask questions that kind of lead Pierre onto a rant, and we'll kind of try to amp it up slowly but surely. But I want to give people some background. So Pierre works for Fox 9 Minneapolis, where he's a very excellent sports reporter. And
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I appreciate it.
Fantastic. They have a fantastic team up there. They cover the Timberwolves as good as anybody in the whole market or in the whole country. They cover the Twins as well, the Vikings, all that, the Gophers, really great. And Minneapolis, for those of you who are wondering, you've never been there, other than the absolute ridiculous bitter cold that is straight from hell. Yes. I would say that it is a top 5 awesome sports market in the country because you have pretty much everything that you can do. So for Pierre, he gets to cover a lot of things. Pierre is not from Minneapolis. Pierre is from a much warmer place with a nice breeze that rolls through. And if they get snow, everybody freaks out a little bit in Sacramento, California. You are from Sacramento. So this is where I'd like to give people on this podcast a chance to put the reporter hat down, because it is a hard thing to do, because you have opinions, but you have to make sure that they stay within the boundaries. You are not covering the Kings. You used to cover the Kings. And I can tell you, as a person who covers the Cowboys, that's a fan of them, it is harder than I think people realize to be a fan of a team and cover them once you've seen how the sausage gets made.
100%.
Yes. It would. I'll just tell you, I'll just use this as an example because we know that it's a bit Franken food. But like, if you loved Kentucky Fried Chicken so much Like it was, oh my gosh, I have to have it at least once a week. I love the Colonel. I love everything about him. And then you went to Kentucky Fried Chicken headquarters and found what they shot into the chicken. You'd be like, oh. I mean, I don't not love it, but
Right.
I can't dismiss from my head what they're doing.
You have new information. You have new information, and you have to kind of pivot in your own mind. What do I do with this new information? I'm not sure how to feel.
Yes. So you did cover the Kings. Did you do like a podcast or like a segment with Scott Pollard or something? Was that
I only did one. We did a taped segment with Scott Pollard, just a one-off because he was in town promoting a movie that he was in. So yeah, we did that one night. That was a very memorable interview, by the way.
It was great. I thought it was so good. I thought that was going to be like a regular thing you guys were doing.
Yeah.
So Sacramento Kings fan. He's strangely enough a Dolphins fan, which is a different rage room topic for a different day.
And I'm shocked I didn't pick that one. Now that I think about it, I can't believe on the heels of the NFL draft how I didn't pick that one. But we can revisit that for sure.
We can revisit that. There's still mini camps and things to come before the season starts. And you are also a San Jose Sharks fan, which is probably the one that's been the most rewarding in the last quarter century to you.
We're back, baby. We are back. It's going to be Macklin Celebrini's league for the next 10 years. I expect at least 2 cups in the next 10 years from this team. I really do.
And you were an Oakland A's fan, but
dead to me.
But dead to you.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So we've tried to get you into the Padres, and we'll see if that takes.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see if it takes. It's difficult. It'd be like convincing your girlfriend to have a threesome. Like maybe it takes, maybe it doesn't.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I thought about this whole baseball thing before we do this. San Diego, we had talked about this. San Diego is my favorite city in the country, so that would make it easy for me to be a Padres fan. However, I have cousins who live in Cincinnati, and the one and only time I ever went to the Great American Ballpark, the hospitality there was second to none. It was fantastic. So I do have a little bit of a soft spot, I guess, in my heart for the Reds as well. But it's kind of like,
you can't, like, your heart's been broken. You can't just get back out there.
Correct.
Love another baseball team.
It's going to take a long time.
And there are very few instances where you're allowed to divorce your team. You are in one of them where you have probably he's a bottom 3 owner in sports in general.
Without question. Without question.
Like the only reason James Dolan is above him is that James has figured out, like, hey, I have to make this team at least a little bit good in the Knicks. But let's get to your Sacramento Kings. So the NBA is in a lot of flux, Pierre, when it comes to the draft lottery and how they're going to do it and to prevent tanking and all these things. But you are upset about the Kings messing up their draft position because whatever new rules they have, they're not going to do it this year.
Correct.
Because the draft lottery is just seemingly moments from now when we're going to have it. It's very soon. You can't change it in a matter of weeks, but it would happen for 2027. So let's start with just the basis of your rage so I can get a point to where I can needle at it and bring it out in its full Hulk form.
Well, before we look ahead, let's take 1 or 2 steps back here. This roster was horribly constructed. Now, I don't leave that all on Scott Perry, who is the new GM of the Sacramento Kings, who originally had a previous stint, a very brief one with the Kings, by the way, back in, I believe it was 2016, before he left to take the Knicks job. Monty McNair, who had been doing a good job, in my opinion, guiding this program into the right path. Last year, he must have known he was on his way out the door because he traded De'Aaron Fox for next to nothing, imports Zach LaVine as part of the trade. Now, Zach LaVine, I've never been a fan of because he's what I call an empty calories player. He scores a lot, great, but does he do things that lead his team to winning? Not really. If you look at his track record in the NBA, and I know I'm probably putting a lot on Zach LaVine, but I mean, the proof is in the pudding with Zach LaVine. And the proof is kind of in the pudding with DeMar DeRozan. Great scorer, can really get to his shot, has had a magnificent NBA career, but his teams seem to do better after he either gets traded or signs somewhere else. So, with the exception of the Bulls, but of course, the Bulls are there in their own, universe that I'm not even going to try to broach there. But all of this to say, This roster this year was horribly constructed. They signed Dennis Schroeder to a 3-year, $45 million contract in the offseason, inexplicably. I know they needed a point guard, but that's an inexplicable contract to offer Dennis Schroeder. They magically got out of it halfway through the season by trading him to Cleveland. They signed Russell Westbrook in the offseason, and the Kings started this year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they began the year like 12-50, something like that. Something in that area, 12-50 or 13-51, something like that. Then this team, who is on a pathway to at least a top 3 pick, and if you look at the draft class this year, it is a monster draft class, very deep draft class. You get a top 3 pick, you're probably going to come away with a superstar that can anchor your franchise for years to come. And then inexplicably, they win like 5 of 6 or, whatever it was. They get 5 or 6 wins down the stretch. I don't care about tanking. Tanking in the NBA right now is the best way to make sure that your team gets better in the future. That's a sad reality, but that's the reality nonetheless. And I don't make the rules. I just play by the rules, Paul. I just play by the rules.
So I'm going to get into this. So in the immediate, the only way in the NBA, and look, the Spurs even had to do this. The Spurs were the best at managing their roster of anybody in the league. They're the absolute best at it. I mean, they're the ones who fleeced the Kings for De'Aaron Fox.
100%.
Who might very well help them win a title this year. The Spurs are, I really want to see Spurs and Thunder. I don't care about the lower seeds. I want to see that because I think it's the two best teams in the NBA right now in this moment. And I want to see that in the Western Conference Finals. Not to mention I'm a Spurs fan, but still, but they did that, right? So they already sent their best player in De'Aaron Fox over to a team that has now very, very strategically, okay, they got Wemby, they got Castle, they got Harper, they've got all these guys. They've got Devin Vassell, who is one of the best, flexible players in the league. They've got a deep, deep bench now. If you're Sacramento,
Dylan Harper is going to be a star, by the way.
Yes.
I think Dylan Harper is going to be a star.
Yeah. You're going to have Harper and Wemby for 15 years in San Antonio, probably. So Sacramento, I feel like they're trying to do this how the Lakers would do it or how the Knicks would do it. Their model, absolutely, they should be copying the Spurs beat for beat on how they build their roster and be kind of honest with the fans of, look, right now we have to be right here. This is how you win in the NBA. The only way you can do it is to luck into one of those top 3 picks or the top pick and draft it right. And right now you can tank. It's not a good thing, but right now you can. And it's like they decided that let's be honorable at the end of this. It's like deciding, and I'm not making a comment on our current political situation in any way at all, but after someone commits 100 crimes, that's when you're going to be like, this is a bridge too far.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, I was fine with the first 99 times they committed a crime.
And
but
you know what, Paul?
the
fans are smart enough to realize what kind of situation you're in. They can see it. They're like, oh, okay, you know what? This is a down year. There's no point in winning. This team never got up off the mat at the beginning of the season because Keegan Murray was injured at the beginning of the year. Domantas Sabonis got injured very early on in the year. They had to shut him down. This was absolutely we had some bad injury luck. And you know what? This is going to be a year where we're just not going anywhere. What is the difference between winning 19 games and 25 games? Well, the difference is you could cost yourself a major impact player in the draft. So you might as well just go ahead and play all of the young guys. DeMar DeRozan was still playing deep into the season. Russell Westbrook was still playing deep into the season. Why are we not starting and playing these first and second year players who can gain some valuable experience at the end of the year? That still matters. That matters going into seasons beyond. So why not do that? If you lose, it's great. You are winning by losing. I know it's counterproductive and counterintuitive to a lot of what the players think and the fans think. I know the players right now are going out there trying to win. God bless them. I want them to have that kind of mentality. No doubt about it. But from a fan's perspective, you have absolutely. And now here's the other thing, Paul. They finished the season tied for 4th with Utah. Instead of falling in the top 3 with Indiana, Washington, and Brooklyn, They end the season tied with Utah in the standings for 4th, and then lose a coin flip to Utah to finish in 5th place in the rankings going into the lottery. In 5th, after the season you just had, you're telling me that there is a legit possibility that this team not only won't finish in the top 3 in the lottery, but could be 5th or worse. Or worse. How is the team supposed to get better when you decided to win 5 of 6 games in March? Absurd. Absolutely absurd thinking. And you mentioned Fisher being one of the worst owner in sports. Vivek Ranadive is absolutely one of the top 3 or 5 worst owner in sports as well. Horrendous owner. Doesn't know what he's doing. Hires the wrong people all the time. Has absolutely no direction for this franchise. Wants to get his daughter a record deal time and time again. That seems to be more important to him than running an actual basketball franchise. And this franchise has I've gotten to the point, Paul, this was the first year. This was the first year in my entire life. I'm born and raised in Sacramento, where I looked at the daily schedule of the NBA and I said to myself, oh, the Kings are playing tonight? Didn't realize that. That's how disenfranchised I have become with this team right now.
Oh, Pierre, I hear the pain and anger in your voice. And
unbelievable.
We're going to do a reverse one of these with me and the Red Sox, by the way, here soon. But I'm looking at the roster right now. And if it was me, that was the owner or the GM, if I'm the owner of the Kings, if all of a sudden I buy the team, homeboy gets his daughter a record deal, he's got everything he wants in life, and now he has to focus on that, sells the team, takes his billions from me, and I move to Sacramento and take over. My first thing after I hired the GM, and I'm not even talking about firing Doug Christie or anything like that. Coaching in the NBA is a kind of a, you got to really work hard to find the
really good ones. The really good ones.
But Sabonis, he's fine. We're keeping him. He's, he is not a guy you build the team completely around, but he is someone who, when you get your guy, he's your other guy. He's really good. Okay. Plus he's a Sabonis. It's in his, his dad was
His dad was a great player.
Yeah.
Great
player. His dad
player.
was the best European player ever until Dirk Nowitzki came around.
I was watching the Jailblazers documentary with my wife, who didn't know anything about that team. And I was trying to explain to her before the Jailblazers were the Jailblazers, like, oh, this Arvydas Sabonis guy, he was terrific. You should have watched him back in the day.
Oh, I remember how excited we all were when, he's out of the Eastern Bloc.
Yeah.
We can see him playing the NBA now, like him and Kukoc and those guys.
100%.
And then we got Dirk, and it's like, oh, wow. Well, now it's on. Now it's on.
Yeah.
It's just been a water wall of players since then.
Oh, yeah.
So, but Zach LaVine, I think you made your point on him. DeMar DeRozan, whatever.
How old is he? 37, 38 now?
Yeah, he's 36.
Ton of respect for DeMar DeRozan. I really have a ton of respect for the guy. I really do. But at this stage of your timeline, of course, he doesn't fit.
But, I look at the roster, and there's maybe 4 guys I'd keep. For sure.
I can, off the top of my head, do you have the roster in front of you?
I do.
Okay, I can name. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can think of the 4 names you're thinking of. Neat Clifford is one because you just drafted him.
Yep.
Dylan Caldwell, Caldwell or Cardwell? I think it's Caldwell. Cardwell. Yep. You're definitely keeping him. Maxime Reynaud, you are definitely keeping him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think. Devin Carter. I'm not ready to pull the plug on yet. So
he's a real young player, but outside of that, you've got a bunch of veterans that you can just kind of send off.
Well,
send them off.
Keegan Murray. I'm a fan of Keegan Murray. I really am. I was not a fan of signing him to the max extension that they were able to sign him to. I was like, why? Why? What has Keegan Murray done in his career? I know he set the rookie record for threes. But since then, great defender. But when we talk about guys who can alter your franchise, Keegan Murray is a great number 3 on a championship caliber team. That's what he is. So why am I paying him $160 million if he's no better than a number 3 on a championship caliber team?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up with this, Pierre. I'm going to give you just a few minutes to tell the owner and the GM how they should do their job. And feel free to be as angry as you like.
I don't have to go very long. Here's how, and I'm not even directing this really at Scott Perry. I'm going to let Scott Perry, the GM, do his thing, but I will speak directly to the owner. It's very simple. Sell the team. Sell the team. Flat out. Vivek Ranadive should have a statue built of himself outside of the arena because he is the guy that saved the Kings from moving out of Sacramento. That should never be forgotten, and it will never be forgotten. But ever since he has taken over the team, it has been a directionless, laughable, consequential set of mistakes that he has made time and time again. And the fans of Sacramento have had it. We've had it. We've had it watching this team continue. This is a league, Paul, where half the teams make the postseason every year. And they've made the postseason once since he has taken over the team, which was back in 2012, I want to say, 2011 or 2012. And it's flat and simple. He has proven time and again he's an incapable owner of really putting together a team that is competitive year in and year out. He is not good with customer relations. I've heard from multiple people who used to work in that organization that this man doesn't have a clue, and the people that he hires don't have a clue on how to really lead this franchise. The whispers that I hear in terms of the minority owners that have just been grumbling about how this basketball team has been run, sell the team. Flat and simple, sell the team. It's time. It is time for you to step aside because we already have enough proof at how this franchise cannot be successful under your ownership. Sell the team.
Okay, Pierre, what makes you angrier? The fact that the Kings have directionless leadership, or that MTV's The Challenge has become more of a the social game is not as big a part of it. Mm-hmm. It's more about now. I saw Jake Johnson say this, the actor Jake Johnson from New Girl. Say it's more about who can run the furthest with a spoon in their mouth.
Yes.
As opposed to like what it was before there was more palace intrigue. That really, I enjoy the competitions. Mm-hmm. I enjoy them. I think the more he ratchets up, the more fun it becomes.
Yeah.
But it's become more about that than it was initially, which was getting drunk and getting in arguments.
To answer your question, the Kings definitely upset me more. However, I will say it's very true. They've tried to turn it into the fifth major sport, as opposed to back in the day. And I'm with you, Paul. I love the competitions, but the competitions were secondary to the show. They were the secondary plot outside of the fights and the hookups and the drunken parties. That was what made the show. The competition part was absolutely secondary. I don't need to see somebody from American Ninja Warrior or a former somebody who's on American Gladiators come in yoked up and do these challenges. That's not why I'm watching them. I'm watching them for the personalities that we saw back in the day that looked like just regular people that were here to just try to maybe get famous and have some fun on TV. That's what the show used to be. It needs to go back to that.
Pierre, I support you 100% in almost every single thing you believe in.
Almost.
I mean, we have to have some disagreement. Otherwise, we're the same damn guy. We can't do that. This has been the Rage Room here on the Sports Game Podcast with Paul Catalina. Like and subscribe to 365 Sports Extras. Pierre, I love you unconditionally, buddy. And good luck with the dad stuff that's coming up. How we're like midway through? Are we midway, like halfway point? Or past?
We're almost there. July 20th is the due date, so we're not that far away. So
boy or girl or surprise?
It's a boy, and when he's here, he's gonna. I expect a 365 Sports onesie that I can put on him and to send a picture to Uncle Paul.
Done. Absolutely, we're gonna get that done. And while I do think you'd be an excellent girl dad, I think first time out, boy for you is probably the best call.
I lost the bet. I thought for sure it was going to be a girl. First, but when I heard boy, I was like, we just want 10 fingers, 10 toes. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah. We are very excited nonetheless.
I will tell you this. You have a very good, strong dad. You have a sister. So that would make you a good girl dad, but I would be afraid if I was anybody who came near that girl. If you have, like, I would just be like, this is Tommy. He's gonna be a Supreme Court justice in 5 years. He'd like to marry me, and you're like, the hell he is.
Oh, that's cool. Does Tommy want to see my shotgun collection? I got a really wide range.
Yeah. As where you and the group of your guy friends, now we can go in and finding what this kid's marketable skill is.
Oh, 100%.
And, yeah. I mean, let's
100%.
make him a kicker or a golfer.
No, yeah, 100%. Kicker.
Kicker or golfer.
It's an honorable profession.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. Golf is guaranteed to have a hot wife.
Well, that is true. Yeah, I have to think about that as well. Yeah, I'm still thinking about what we're gonna get him into when he's of age, but what we're gonna put him in as many things as possible, see what sticks.
Listen, whatever path we take, listen, I say this as somebody who's going to group parent your kid from a distance. We're going to make sure that he's elite at it.
100%. No, he absolutely is going to be elite at whatever he does. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. He's a Noujaim. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Pierre, thank you. We will see you again next time for the race.
Love you, buddy.
This is 365 Sports Extras. Like and subscribe. Thanks to Airwave.